Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. This is the work session for general assistance. I'm Supervisor Lisa Heddens. Let's go around and introduce who's here and then we'll get started.
Auditor Lucy Martin,
Director of External Operations and County Services, Sandra King.
Director of Internal Operations and Human Resources, Alyssa Wignall.
Supervisor Latifa Faisal.
Lisa Markley, Assistant Auditor.
Erin Rewerts, General Assistance Director.
Great, thanks. We've been, I know you've got a position in here. We talked a little bit yesterday, but why don't we go back and start with that and then we'll go with your revenue and
Okay.
expenditure portions.
Sounds good. Yes, so in my letter to you folks, I talked about the first paragraph there, kind of the history, which we touched on yesterday too, of what's happened with our administrative assistant positions over the years. And so the most recent person that's kind of doing that for us or helping us on the administrative end is our intern, which we approved last year. And so that is, she's there Monday, Wednesdays, and half of Fridays. So 20 hours a week. And then in this next paragraph, I talk a little bit about the traffic that we have for walk-in, appointments, all of those types of things. And so our administrative staff are responsible for the phones, the door, 100% of the time. And what it has done, so the intern position helped immensely. I've got her doing things that are invaluable to everything else. I mean, they're doing data entry for the service coordinators so that they can, do their job with the people. And she's helping me with substance abuse attorneys, attorney fees, transportation, court orders, all of that kind of stuff. What happens then is when the intern's not there, of course, then we have one administrative assistant there. If she takes a vacation, if she is sick, then we have no one out front. And that has really probably over in the last year just really gotten to be a little problemsome with the phone and the walk-in traffic. And it makes it difficult for us to be involved with any kind of special projects, be involved in all those county committees. It just kind of straps us for being able to do those types of things. And then this next paragraph talks a little bit about what other duties we would give to a full-time administrative assistant, including VA duties and also increasing some general assistance duties. Zach has big ideas for digitizing certain things and stuff like that too, which is would be really nice if we could have the manpower to do that. The centralized intake model itself, has been going on for 3 years. So we're still, we've adjusted fairly well to that, but it did increase workload for our folks, just in the nature of taking the applications for Good Neighbor and Salvation Army, which increased the traffic and that kind of thing. We've gotten into a nice rhythm with things, but the data entry piece is huge. And if I don't have somebody doing that, the service coordinators will have difficulties completing, their jobs and things like that, and their job duties. Okay, so then I just wanted to propose that we have half the position be funded, half through GA and half through Veterans Affairs as well. Questions? And then I got the breakdown, or Alyssa gave me the breakdown of the salary and that kind of thing.
And you said,
Hours is your intern currently?
So 20 hours. So if we put this, if we had another full-time administrative assistant, we would not have
Right.
the intern anymore. Yeah. Plus our intern is done. She graduates in May.
and you
Yeah.
struggled to find somebody for that position, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
because my plan was to use work study, go through
Mhm.
ISU and partner with them and have a work study student She didn't qualify for those funds. So yeah, that was my original plan.
I think I heard that work study dollars are getting harder to come by.
Mm,
And I
Could
think
be.
it's more difficult for some to qualify for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
could
mean, I
be.
think
Yeah.
only, yeah, certain.
We
things.
posted over there, you know what I mean, and said work study preferred and,
Yeah.
you know, did all that kind of stuff, but
And I don't know
Yeah.
if the college students pick the work study that's like on campus.
Mhm.
So they don't have to travel, they don't,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just,
it's such a good experience
It
for
is,
people.
though.
I mean, the
Right.
customer service
Yep.
that they learn and
Office etiquette, like all of it.
everything. It has been a pure pleasure to watch the intern that we have right now, just learn our system and be able to. Unfortunately, it takes so long to train somebody.
Right, that's what.
When you
So-
go good, when you don't want to give it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Have you had like your current work study student just a semester, or do you usually have for the full year?
well, she's been there a full year, full year. Mhm. Yep.
I don't have any other questions. Anyone else have any other questions?
No, no, I thought
Okay.
it was a really thorough explanation of what the situation is.
Thank you.
Okay, then we just gonna start at revenue and then go on to expenditures.
Okay.
And I think we're looking more at the narrative portion.
All
Like on
right.
page 124, where we can see a little bit more of the details.
Yep, sounds good. Our revenue is not real exciting, so the the 9,000 is there because of the work study reimbursement, if we would have gotten that. Otherwise, the 1,800 is, you know, SSI interim. If we were going to help someone with their rent and utilities, you know, that was applying for Social Security. We don't have anybody on that program right now. It's not as common as it used to be. And then, you know, I've gotten a couple checks along the way of people reimbursing us for paying attorney fees. Not this year, but last year. So I'm always positive.
Do we can take the 9,000 out, or do you want to leave that in there in case you
Think-
want to do it that, or if you have to go that way again?
Yeah, I need to leave it, I think, in case the position doesn't get approved, then I want to get another intern. Mhm.
For the revenue? For the work study?
Well,
revenue?
yeah, just in
Okay.
case we do get a
Okay.
work study.
All right. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that.
I want
we're
to
all
try
on the
that
same
out.
page. Okay, I'm gonna cut it out.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start at vehicle fuels and maintenance. And I actually have a little bit of a question here on that one. We did, as Zach said yesterday, give our county vehicle back over here. We just don't need it. And so that's what this was here for, I think. And even prior to that, we had them both as pool vehicles anyway. So as I understand it, this was our line item for when we were running our own cars. So I don't know if it needs to go or what, but
Do you anticipate at times at all that you would use one of the vehicles?
well, so then that's down here. Yes, I do. So like, we have trainings and stuff in Des Moines for VA and all that kind of stuff, but we can get vehicles from you over here to do that, I think is what our plan is. And then,
Yeah.
Well, it has been, if there's any fuel charges, that it gets charged back, but yeah, so I mean, it doesn't hurt to leave it in there.
okay, I'm fine with leaving it.
Because they,
Mhm.
they charge back whatever department used it usually.
Okay.
so.
So that's what that $100 would, yeah, that
Mhm.
$100 would be
Mhm.
for.
Mhm.
There's fuel.
Okay,
Yeah, you don't have any,
So-
as far as I know, there's no other charges that you have for it, but
okay.
you don't have a pool
then I
car
have-
over there now?
No, we don't have a pool collar over there. I mean, I would have no idea. Okay, we'll just kind of wing it and hope 100.
I mean, I can look and see what we've paid for out of that line item. I mean, we've paid all of $33 this year, so.
Right.
So it's not as though it's a big ticket
It's-
item.
Not
I
a big,
wasn't sure how they're billing the fuel
yeah,
under county. Is it all under-
She breaks it out through the departments that use it.
Oh,
So it's the luck of whoever has to fill it up? That's where it gets charged to?
Mhm. I-
I mean,
I mean, if P&D, well, P&D's vehicle, they'd pay for theirs and yeah, when Terry submits the claim every month, she breaks it out based on what departments. pretty
right.
much.
So like if Zach and I took it to Des Moines, probably, it doesn't matter if you fill it up or not. They're looking at your mileage and how much
okay.
you would have used, I
Mhm.
think, fuel consumption.
Okay.
Okay. And then postage and mailing, I just gonna keep that the same. We have turned this upside down and sideways, trying to figure out if we could figure out a cheaper way to do postage and mailing because of the postage meter. But it is not doable. So I've tried.
We decided in our office that we wish that there wasn't just a monopoly on Pitney Bowes because it's just a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Right. And we're still in a contract anyway, I think, for
Right.
another 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So I'm letting that one go. Employee mileage and expenses. So since we don't have a car, we're still be coming over here for county trainings and things like that. And I can have folks double up and 3 of us are from over here anyway. So usually we will start our day or, if there's a recognition breakfast or if there's a training or something like that. So I allotted for 20 trips from our office to yours for the year. Communication services, no changes there. Education and training, no changes there. Yeah, and then equipment, rent and maintenance. I'm gonna leave that one the same too.
We generally go down to the ISAC conference.
I
remember.
don't, I've gone once
They don't really have a.
and this year they're not even, I looked at it, they're not even having an affiliate
Yeah,
like
that's-
for the general assistance thing.
Really?
So,
Okay.
so. They did have, last year, I did have a GA retreat though, and they do one of those about maybe every other year. Or every 3 years.
ISAC puts that on?
No, the associate, actually, yes, it's a subcommittee of ISAC. And so then all the general assistance directors from the state converge in Des Moines, and it's just a day-long thing. It's
Good.
pretty good. Okay, so these next 4, I think the medical care, hospital care, medicines, food and provisions are all placeholders pretty much for us. Rent payments. We are currently, so I figured this out today through the end of January. We're currently at we've spent 28,000 and some change. I would like to request again a 2% increase in the income guidelines, which is kind of what we've been doing ever since we did the study however many years ago, just to kind of get our income guidelines a little bit closer to others.
Said 2%.
Yeah, 2%. And then leave the resource limit, which is 150, which is what we have right now.
So does that 60,000 reflect that?
We have not hit, so if you see my 3-year average, it's about 53. So I think yes,
So even with that 2%, you're saying you think you're fine. Okay.
yes. Because eventually I plan on having some data for you on that stuff too, and that'll.
Okay.
When the homelessness action plan comes out, sorry, I anticipate a greater emphasis on homelessness prevention. And I don't know how that will impact this, but I expect there will be some focus on targeting that.
Utilities payments, same thing here. Our 3-year average is about 3,600. We're at 2,600 and some change right now. So yeah, we haven't had any kind of significant increases in the utilities in a while. Funeral services, however. I paid out 10,000 and some dollars this month for funerals. So, what the 35,275 gets me is, 18 fully funded, cremations or burials. In my last, couple fiscal years, we've hit 18. This year, I suspect it might be a bit more. Just because I usually try to figure at least one a month, and then some obviously at 18, but, so I'm not requesting an increase on the reimbursement to the funeral homes. So that's 2,075 right now. And, yeah, I just think my re-estimation might have to, I don't know if I wrote that down anywhere, but,
So are you thinking the 35,275 is enough?
not for this year, probably. It's one of those I can't control.
Right.
Yeah, I
just
get
can't.
that.
And that's,
So-
that was what I was gonna say was, here's how I approach these lines that we're gonna pay for no matter what. Is when we get to May and see where we're at, and see what she's got out there, and that's when I actually increase it and or amend for those dollars. Because as she said, it's January, we don't know, and we're gonna pay for them.
So,
So it's mostly a placeholder for now, like with the medical examiners.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, we don't know how many autopsies, we don't know any of that.
Right.
So at this point, but we know the code says you're gonna pay for them. So we're gonna pay for them.
Okay. Management services. So this is for our transients, that we, fund bus tickets for. If they have a car and need gas and a quart of oil, that's the other, service that's funded under here. And then there's also our language line. But couple very big language line things, and we've paid for, half a dozen bus tickets so far this year, which is very unusual. So that line item for me is already, well over, it's almost 100% over what I think we've spent 900 and some
Oh, have you?
as of the end of this month. Yep.
So should we bump up next year's to 1,000?
Yes, I think.
Or
so.
more?
And no, I think 1,000
Okay.
will do it. Mm-hmm. It used to be we didn't have to use the interpreter service really at all. So that has, I think with the immigrant fund and stuff like that going away,
Yeah,
people are coming in,
yeah.
which is good because the whole time I was like, these people should be still coming to us, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't expect that your need to use it is going to decrease.
no. And our staff does use Google Translate and, things like that. And a lot of times when people actually come in to speak to us, they're already doing it on their phone.
Mhm.
So, we do use that too. Kleenex.
There's Kleenex. up
There's
here.
Kleenex up here.
Sorry.
Google Translate can be dangerous. Doesn't always get it
It
right.
doesn't always get it right.
Doesn't always get it right.
I have, and the staff are trying, to learn like just basic Spanish, to get through at least the first. And then, Zach knows it.
You know,
So
Spanish?
Zach, so
for
he helps out too. So yeah,
It's great.
yeah. Okay, so then I didn't know for a re-estimation if we're paying attention to those, if I need to bump that up to like maybe 1,200 or something. Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
okay,
If you've already spent 900, yeah.
yep.
for which one, I'm sorry?
The
Management services.
So we're adding 500 in next year to make it 1,000,
Yep.
and we're bumping this year's re-estimation by 200.
1,200, got it.
Okay, Then we go down to general supplemental, the chemical treatment services. So hospital care and treatment services, both at 1,000. Also something we haven't funded in a very long time, so they're placeholders as well. Now, I have a couple typos down here. Sorry. So the 3,500 should say 3,500 in the first column and the second column. And then the court-appointed counsel is the same thing. It should say 3,000 in both those columns.
I told her after my screw up with the sheriff yesterday, this is minor.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, shoot. Yeah.
Oh, whatever then. So you'll notice, I'm just gonna state this here, some of the services that are allowed to be paid from the supplemental fund out of, the list of supplemental fund allowed, we are paying for here out of the supplemental fund. So that's why she's got a different fund in her budget for those items, because those can be paid for.
Gotcha. And then on the court-appointed counsel, so in the reestimation there, I have 2,000, which
Oh, I didn't put it, I put it 3,000, so there
you
go.
put it 3,000?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what I,
Yes, be right.
yes,
It needs to
please.
be 3.
3,000, yeah, on the court-appointed counsel.
Okay, so I was right, even though it was accidentally right.
Yes,
Perfect.
thank you. Okay,
You probably put the 3,000 on your thing you gave me and I just added it and didn't even check.
that's all right. Okay, I think that gets me to the end.
Any questions for Erin?
No.
I don't have any either. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Rock star.
All right, thank you.